Hello, everybody, and welcome to our Introduction to Tactical Headsets webinar. We're thrilled to have you join us today. My name is James Dobson, and I am Head of Marketing and E-commerce at Airsys. Before we get started, I just have a few housekeeping items to cover. All attendees are muted by default to ensure audio quality throughout the presentation. We encourage you to ask questions. Please use the Q&A feature to submit your questions at any time during the webinar. We will address as many as we can at the end. Today's webinar is being recorded. We'll share the recording and any relevant materials with you via email after the session. Now, without further ado, I will hand over to Bayan to begin the presentation. Bayan, the floor is yours.
Thank you, James, and good morning, everyone. Also on my behalf, welcome to this interesting webinar. Well, to start, to basically kick the door in, you might think the ones who have joined, who are dealing with Airsys for quite a while, Airsys, you already sell headsets. What makes this different? So I'm happy to explain to you today briefly why this headset is unique and why we've chosen to add it to our portfolio. So if we look at the many industries that we serve through our partners, one of the industries where we've had many requirements regarding headsets was heavy industry in the maritime space, in manufacturing, where people wanted a light headset that could not only receive clear audio, but also transmit clear audio. So that was something that we were struggling to fulfill with our existing solutions. So we met Tactical Headsets through a mutual contact, and we got in touch. And the more I learned about the company and the product and what makes them unique, the more we got excited. And it turns out to be that timing-wise, Tactical Headsets has been on the market for quite a while, but not commercially active. They have been serving some military customers for a long time and developing their product. And actually now they're ready to go to market and serve a broader audience with their solutions. So if you look at their products, it's a high quality product. It's patented. There's a long history of many decades of R&D, and they're very partner centric. And that's what makes it very interesting for us. And I think also for you, our partners, to engage with us with this solution. If we talk about their go-to-market, what is their go-to-market? So as you know, Airsys doesn't sell to end customers. We engage through you, our partners, in serving those end customers. And with Tactical Headsets, they have the same mindset. So when we embarked on this collaboration and this relationship, it was all about mimicking this channel-centric approach. So what we have agreed is that Airsys will function as the exclusive distributor for all the Motorola purposed headsets from Tactical Headset for not only UK and Ireland, but also for mainland Europe. So that means that we will continue our channel-centric approach. There is a very clear partner program level where, depending on your potential or your spend in a year, where there is a tiered discount structure that unlocks certain benefits like marketing, demo equipment, etc., on which I will touch in a second. And furthermore, this is a product that is relatively new. However, Carl and Bo, who you will meet in a second, spend a lot of time on not only developing a great product, but also on promoting it with large end customers, so on different trade shows, etc., to create, to promote basically their product, drive awareness, but also create demand. That's demand that is fulfilled through the channel. So that's, I think, a very, very interesting point here. If you look at their portfolio, it's a very compact portfolio. There are a number of headsets that Carl will touch on in a second. But basically, we carry three main models that are the most popular models, and these models are compatible with a variety of Motorola radios, ranging from the Wave PTX series TLK through the R2, R7, DP4000, but even into the Tetra range, MXP 600, MTP 3000 series. So it's actually a very wide compatibility that we have with many of the radios we carry from Motorola. And also here, Carl will allude in a second on all the options and what makes each headset different. And basically, just to close off my first bit, why would this be interesting for you, our partners? When we signed up this agreement, it was with one clear intention for our channel, and that is we like to add a solution to our portfolio that unlocks business potential for you, our partners. And those business potentials could be in verticals that you already serve, but possibly also in verticals that you couldn't serve because you didn't have a solution yet. So that's one thing. And it's pretty much greenfield because, as I said earlier, there is no channel for tactical headsets at the moment. We are the channel, and you can become part of that channel with us. So it's a product that's not over distributed. It's a product that's relatively unknown to most end customers outside of MOD. It's a high quality product, a reliable product that you can feel comfortable with taking to the market and promoting to your customers. And the margins, last but not least, are very healthy because of the very clear partner structure and the list pricing that has been carefully determined by Tactical Headsets. Yeah, so this is just my little enthusiastic introduction at the beginning about the brand, and we'll shortly come back on the more practical side of things. So this is my bit in a nutshell, and I would like to pass on to Bo and to Carl to explain you more about what this headset can do.
Thank you, Bojan, and good morning. My name is Carl Franzen. I'm the CEO of Tactical Headsets. Let me introduce Bo Franzen, my father, who is the inventor of the said headset. So I'll let him introduce himself, and then I'm going to take over and give you some backstory.
Yes, hello, my name is Bo Franzen. I started this venture in around 2001, and 2005 the Swedish military guys did find our product, and we have been working very close together since then. And we actually made the first real introduction to the world, so to speak, at Millipol in Paris and then PMR Expo in Cologne. But Carl will give you more info around that. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Yes, so we started making these type of headsets in the early 2000s. And the reason for that is that we needed something that was lightweight and that was really good in high noise environments, which has always been a hard issue to deal with. And what we came up with is something that you all may recognize, and you see that it is a throat mic, but it really isn't a throat mic. It is a neck mic. It is a completely new thing. It still functions in the same way, so it picks up your voice directly from the neck skin using the vibrations of your voice. The big difference is a traditional throat mic, or as the military guys call them, they call them choke mics because they're not very comfortable. They usually need to be really tight, and they usually say like this. They usually are extremely muffled, but they do work in high noise environments. What we thought when we started developing this is that why should it sound so muffled? It really shouldn't need to do that. And we have spent almost 20 years actually developing this headset and choosing the right materials, the right sizes on different cavities to get the right frequency response. So nowadays, when our microphone picks up the voice directly from the neck skin, it sounds very, very close to a normal microphone. So you still got crisp and clear audio, but without the ambient noise. And since the voice coming from your neck skin is the energy from the voice is extremely loud, and the ambient noise is extremely low. So the difference is really, really high. So it's easy to use vox activation and stuff like that, and you won't have any ambient noise in the transmission. So you can even be standing right next to a jet engine and still communicate like we're talking right now. And that is actually one of the functions that the Swedish military are using. The the Air Force firefighters are using just this headset standing right next to the JAS jet fighters, and they can communicate without any issues.
And
The
they don't
headsets,
actually need any outside hearing protection because the headset
exactly,
is
yeah.
doing the work.
So the earbuds that we provide, they offer 25 decibels of noise protection. So they're SNR certified as SNR 25. We are also launching this year foam earbuds that will be around SNR 30. We are currently looking into certifying those and doing the final measurements, but that will be launched sometime this fall or early next year. And all our headsets are based on the same basic design, as you can see. The difference really is the outgoing cable. Here you have a one with our TP120 connector, which we have made for our more big rugged PTT buttons for firefighters, for military people that really need something big and sturdy and waterproof. And then we also have the same headset, but with a small inline PTT. This one is made for the Wave TLK 100. And we also have the headset with just the side connector, so you can have your radio placed on your chest, like most of the security guys does nowadays. So they simply use the PTT on the unit. And as Bojan said, we have been hiding on the Swedish market during the development years and working almost exclusively with the Swedish military and a few key industries here in Sweden. And we launched last year at Millepole in Paris and Cologne. And we are now looking for partners just like Airsys to start getting our systems out there. We are still a small company, and what we are really, really good at is making headsets. And we are more than happy to find good partners that can be the sales funnels, so to speak. And that is really also how we want to do business, that we want to sell to companies like Airsys, who have their own customers in you guys, which in turn has your own customers. So we don't really sell to end customers. We don't have a web shop or anything. We have our website is more like a commercial space, just to showcase the headsets that we do. The only end customer that we sell directly to is the Swedish military, because we've been working with them since 2002. Otherwise, we are looking for resellers and partners globally, really. Do you have something to add, Bo?
No, not really. I think it's time for the demo.
Yeah. So James, please, if you can showcase the demonstration video. So now we will get the video of me standing in our high noise environment booth. And this is what we use on exhibitions. We bring this booth with us and put the customer inside the booth to experience the headset, because that is the best way for us to sell it, really.
Hi, and welcome to this demonstration of the tactical headsets. We're going to step into our high noise environment booth. So let me start up some noise. And as you can hear, it is quite loud. I'm going to step into the booth and then I'm going to connect our headsets. I am now standing in 110 decibels of white noise. It is extremely loud, but I got full hearing protection. I can use a protective mask. I can use a helmet. It really doesn't matter. Use tactical headsets to communicate anywhere. Thank you.
And that is really how the microphone and the headset functions, regardless if you use it with a smartphone or a two-way radio. And we make them for pretty much anything that communicates. So we have them for most of the Motorola lines and for most of all the other brands as well. And also for the wave units like the TLK 100 and the new TLK 25. And one of the major things about our headset is, of course, you don't have any ambient noise or very, very little ambient noise. But one of the main sales points that we have noticed is that customers are now looking for more and more lightweight solutions, because they're used to having over-ear headsets with a boom microphone and then a helmet. And it's starting to get quite a lot of weight on the neck of the end users. So we have quite a lot of customers asking us for these type of headsets because they want to keep the weight down. And since our headset, it weighs around 50 grams, so it's extremely lightweight, and you just put it on like this and in with ear speakers and you're good to go. So there's nothing weighing you down, and that is something that is that people are looking for. And the headset itself is molded in one piece, so it is completely waterproof. You can put it into a dishwasher if you want to. And the material is a material called Technomelt. It's a plant-based plastic. So you can take a flame to it and it doesn't burn. It doesn't give up any fumes whatsoever. And it's good for up to 100 degrees Celsius down to minus 40 degrees Celsius. And as our firefighting guy says, if they have 100 degrees Celsius here, they do have another problem.
Oh, could you also explain a bit? I mean, people might think, well, what makes it compatible with, for example, Motorola? Is it just a connection? But obviously, you guys have been working closely with Motorola to develop your devices to work with their audio profiles. Could you please allude a bit more about that?
Yes, of course. Inside the headsets, we have a PCB, a completely analog PCB, so there's no digital enhancements of any kind, and there's no battery in the headset. It gets its power from the unit that you connect it to, and it's an extremely low power that it needs. But inside the headset is a PCB, so we have 4 different versions of the headsets to make sure that they're always optimal with each and every radio. So if we're looking for Motorola, we have 2 versions of our headsets, 2 different PCBs, and that is really the sensitivity on the microphone, because we always create every new headset for every new radio to be perfect out of the box. So if you take our headset and you take R7, for example, and you connect it, then the audio should be level matched with the internal radio, and that is what we do for the entire market, really. So we are always keeping expanding to new types of radios. And if we look at this version, which is the M11 with a TP120 connector, then you have the headset, and then you just choose the PTT harness with the correct connector. So this is for the R7 or the MXP 600, and we have them for the DP4000, the MTP 850, and yeah, pretty much all the different versions. And then you have this type of headsets with the inline PTT, and they of course are fixed for the type of radio that you want. So you have the inline PTT, and this is for the wave, but you also have it with an R7 connector or DP4000 connector. And then of course it's always level match with the type of radio that you need. So the only time that you have to think about it really is when you use the rugged PTT harness with a TP120 connector, because you could use a different version of the headset and connect it. It will still work, but it will not be the best optimal audio. Most people won't notice any difference, because the difference is about 2 to 3 decibels in level. But that is how we always make them. So every time we ship something out, you choose what radio you want it to, and you get the optimal headset for that radio.
Okay, thank you, Carl.
Thank you.
Another thing, when I started engaging with you guys, what I really found charming and interesting is the the size of your company, the flexibility, the way you operate. It's a family-owned business. It's a business operating out of Sweden, where you have your local manufacturing, which I think makes you quite unique compared to most other manufacturers who manufacture in the Far East, with all the challenges that come with manufacturing in the Far East and getting equipment into Europe. Can you explain a little bit more about your company and how you're set up?
Yeah, we are quite a small company at the moment. We are 7 people working here, and we are located in southern Sweden. So we have our head office here, or our only office at the moment, and we have the full production just 50 meters in that way. So we make the headsets from scratch all the way to the finished product right here in these facilities. And that is something that is really, really good for us, because we have full control. So we test each and every headset before shipping out. So we know that everything that leaves our facilities is 100% perfect. And also for us to make tailor-made solutions and make custom solutions based on our headsets is rather easy, which is something that we usually do for people like military and guys like that. And even if you say that you have security personnel that doesn't really require the full hearing protection, but they might want to use 1 earpiece instead of 2, then we can make them with 1 earpiece. You can make them with outgoing cable that is slightly different. It's all about the question about the quantity, of course, but we can make them in pretty much anyway, since we make them right here in this building. And and the company, I am actually the 3rd generation of this company. So my grandfather started the company in 65-ish, 62.
Yeah.
And always been working in communication. He did intercoms for door to door between inside and outside. And then my father took over as CEO in the 80s, I believe.
Yeah.
And I took over as CEO 5 years ago.
Yeah.
So it's been a long line of communication geeks.
Yeah, you could say that.
Yeah. And also,
Thank you.
something that might be good to know regarding the headsets. If you look at the earbuds and these things, they come in 2 different sizes at the moment. They're made in silicone, and they're really easy to replace. They're hard to pull off, easy to put on. And also the headset itself comes in different sizes. So you have 2 extension pieces. So you have one for larger necks and one for smaller necks. And inside is a steel spring, steel spring. So you can just bend it to make it nice and tight. Yeah, I think that is pretty much it. And then we might have some more info from Bojan.
All right, thank you, Carl.
Thank you.
So back to some practical things. Obviously, before launching this product, what we have done at Airsys is we've placed some first seating stock orders, which have arrived in our warehouses. So we actually do have, from those most popular models, we have seating stock available that we could make available to you early birds rather quickly. If we look at lead times in general, lead times are very good, as Carl just explained. The manufacturing is in Sweden. Tactical headsets keep a buffer stock of the most popular models, but equally, Airsys obviously will be building up stock levels as the business starts developing in the next few months. So that means that we can actually deliver, for most run rate orders, we can deliver out of stock, which means your usual lead times, 24, 48 hours. For projects, as Carl explained, there are a lot of possibilities. However, obviously, like with every project, it needs planning. It requires some type of forecasting so we can prepare ourselves, but also the guys at Tactical Headset, so we can make sure that we maintain those quality levels and that we deliver according to promises. So that's really important. Then on pricing, there are price books. There's a Euro price book. There's a GBP price book that we can share with you upon request. And what you will find is for all the variations, so for the different models, you will find the variations in terms of which radio do you want to connect to this headset. There's a list price, and there is a discount depending on the partner level you have. Yes, so what you might think, well, we're just starting off, so how do you determine which partner level? So obviously we will look at the existing relationships that we have, or if you're a new partner, we will look at what your potential would be with these headsets. And based on that, we will assign a fair discount to you so that you are compatible and competitive in the market. As I said earlier, if we compare this headset with, there is no one-to-one comparison. But if we look at other rugged headsets, industrial headsets in the market, then tactical headset is nicely priced underneath those manufacturers. But what makes it unique is not the pricing. It's really the functionality, the form factor. That's what makes this headset unique in our portfolio, right? So it's really an addition. We're filling a gap here as Airsys to facilitate you partners to have this solution in your portfolio. So what we've always also done, as you can see behind me, with the typical radios and the systems that we sell, we also have demo units available, right? So we have demo units that we can use to demonstrate the solution, and also for training purposes, which Russ Billings will touch on in a second. And then further to that, tactical headsets and James have been working together. There is plenty of marketing material, as you've seen the cool video that Carl made. There are brochures, there are images, there's plenty of marketing material that we can make available for you, for your websites, for your social media postings, etc. If you're interested, just let us know, and we're happy to sort you out with that. And also, as we progress, there are also possibilities for marketing funding to support you with possible show, a trade show, if you're doing a case study or along those type of activities, there is a possibility also to support you on that. Yeah, so I hope we will see some early engagement from some of you, and we're more than happy to facilitate you to get up and running, and to hopefully start engaging with customers and creating a sales funnel for these great products. So with that said, that's the end of the practical and the commercial side of things. I will hand it over to Russ to explain a bit more about how we can support you from our professional services department. Russ, over to you.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
Russ, I'm afraid we can't hear you.
I lost your audio. You might need a tactical headset.
Yeah.
Can you hear me now, gents?
Yeah.
Yes, we can.
Yeah,
Excellent.
okay. Yeah, I'm not sure. We have extensive training on the headsets. We understand the radio levels against the Motorola devices and other devices that the actual tactical headsets can work with. And I request, if you want any further information or you want any guidelines around the usability and functionality of the headset, then please reach out to the sales team or the professional services team. We have our innovation centers are set up for these headsets, along with the portfolio that they can work alongside in both Romsey and Roermond in the Netherlands. and we are, more than welcome to host you and go through some more training and functionality tests with the headsets, and to explore the kind of environments that these headsets could operate in. Certainly, we've already mentioned firefighters and the actual comfort around those type of headsets under firefighting helmets or alongside SCBAs, etc., etc. But also in the commercial industry on building sites and in factories where users are very much used to wearing heavy-duty headsets can actually look at an alternative in a more comfort and hygienic role in those spaces. We've done the tests with certain industry types to see if it is a competent and capable solution, and we've hit the mark 100% on all the tests that we've done internally, and it's received good feedback from end users. So I'd like to reiterate before I hand you back to James for some questions and answers that we are here. Please reach out to us as a team. We can support you in all your needs, hopefully. And yes, thanks for joining this webinar. Back to you, James.
Great. Thank you, everybody, for that insightful presentation. That's a lot of information there. We will move on to to some questions that have come through. So I will just open that up. There are quite a few, so we'll try and run through them as quickly as we can. Any unanswered questions, we'll come back and feedback at the end after the presentation with the video. So one of the questions is, what is the expected lifespan of the headset under typical conditions?
I would say, first of all, we do have 1 year full warranty on the headset. So if there is a faulty headset without any signs of external harm, then it will be replaced by us, because that should not happen. This is made for military standards, so it is very, very durable. You can break it, but you're really going to need to have to try to. We do have customers that have been using the headsets for 5 to 6 years, but I would say the life of the headsets, if you use them daily in a harsh environment, I would say is about 3 years, sometimes something like that. And that is also pretty much what it should be, because after 3 years there's going to have been developments, and it's going to be upgrades, and the price point is also not that high, so it's not a high cost after 3 years of use, daily use. So I would say around 3 years.
Great, thank you. Another one is, you mentioned what is the weight of the neck mic? I think you may have answered that during the presentation.
The weight of the headset is around 50 grams, depending on which version. But if you look at this part, the part that you have around your neck, that is around 50 grams. And then you have, of course, the cable. So say from 50 grams, and this one with the inline PTT is around 100 grams. And then you have with a rugged PTT, which is about 250 grams. So it is extremely lightweight, the whole system.
And is
okay, sorry. It's very little weight on your neck and your skull.
Yeah.
Very little.
It's not weighing you down at all, since it is placed around your neck. So it feels like having a polo neck, basically.
Yeah.
And how do you adjust the size for different people with the headset?
We do have, let me know if you can see correctly, but we do have extension parts. So you have a longer one, and then we have a shorter one. I don't have a shorter one on me at the moment, but you just clip it in like this. Poof. There you go. And then you just bend the neckband into a smaller diameter, because as you know, it is important that it is in contact with the neck skin. But you can bend it really tight, so you get a good strength in it. And then you just put it on like so. And it is important that it is in contact with the neck skin. So if you lift it just a few millimeters so it's not in contact, then it's going to be completely quiet. And if you're looking for more firefighters and people like that have protective gear which can't really move the microphone. Then we also have a fixed strap. So you just put it in place and then you just lay the Velcro around, then it's fixed. You don't really need to tighten it, you just lay it in place because the material of the headset is very good at sticking to the skin.
One of
Obviously,
the
this neck strap is adjustable, right? So yours,
Yeah,
Carl, is not quite long, but that's like you can personalize that.
Yeah, so what we usually tell our customers and what they usually do is that the headset is usually personalized because of hygiene and everything like that. So you just you take it in a good length and then you just cut off the Velcro so you don't have a flap.
One of the questions that has come in is, does the neck mic work if someone has a beard?
Yeah, it does. Usually you don't have beard all the way down to your chest.
Mm-hmm.
So you can place it quite low, the headset. The position doesn't really matter that much. Somewhere around here is good. So if you have a big beard, of course, you need to have the microphone beneath the beard, but there's very, very rarely that we have had a customer that has such a beard that he can't wear the neck mic because you can, as long as you place it against the skin, it will work. If you have a very, very big beard going all around your throat, you might have to have the microphone a little bit further back. It will still work, but you will have a little bit more darker sounding audio, but it will still work. And generally speaking, if you have it placed down here, there's usually no issue because the beard is usually more in the front.
There's a couple of questions around the same here, so I'll try and get them together. It's talking about the environment which the net mics have been used in. You've mentioned the ministry, and also heavy industry, but there's a couple asking about musical festivals or gigs. Have they been used? And also another part of that is with the earpieces. Do you sell them with just one earpiece? So for security personnel, they're able to communicate with customers.
Our heads have been used mostly, especially by military and firefighters in really, really harsh environments. But we also have quite a lot of customers working on music festivals and with these headsets and nightclubs as well. And they really like it because with these headsets, they can be standing right next to the PA system at the front of the stage and still communicate without an issue. And they also have full hearing protection, which is really, really good. And we can also make the headsets with just one earpiece if the customer wants that. The only issue is that they will, of course, not have any certified hearing protection in that way, but we can make them with one earplug if they want to. And the reason that we decided to go with SNR 25 on these ones is that once you put it in, it is nice and quiet, but you still hear everything around you. So it's still easy to communicate with someone standing next to you, even if you have the earpiece and have the full hearing protection. So it's just nice and quiet, but you can still hear everything. And the earpieces, we do sell them in pairs to customers, of course, as a replacement. And for guys like you and Airsys and your resellers, we have them in bulk packs. So you can buy them in 50 packs, 500 packs, 1,000 packs, and of course, for quite cheap prices. But the earbuds, we actually thought that it's going to be great because we're going to sell quite a lot of earbuds. But if you just take soap and water and wash these ones, they're like brand new. So I have had a headset that I had for about 7 years, and I still haven't changed the earbuds because you don't really have to. So the quality is.
We don't tell that to them. We don't tell that to the end customers.
No, of course not. So yeah, you can buy them in both packs. Was there anything more in that question? I forgot about the.
No, it's just asking about have they been used in a music or a gig environment. Are there any other industries which you've had these deployed?
Yeah, you have the maritime industry, where it's a really, really good solution because they are waterproof. And in the maritime, they usually have the issue with a lot of wind noise and a lot of water and engine noise. And also, the Netherlands police is using it on jet skis and rib boats with very good results. And
Sawmills.
sorry?
Sawmills.
Yeah, sawmills as well. So it really is every possible place you can imagine, which is loud and hard to communicate in, is really the perfect place for these headsets. And if you look at like airports and stuff like that, it's also a very, very good customer base because they are working in extremely loud environments with big and bulky and heavy gear, and also road workers and guys like that. So the market for the headset is very, very broad, actually. It's
If I
just
may
that.
add,
Yes,
oh,
of course.
sorry, Carl.
Oh,
If
please,
I
go
may
ahead.
add, although these headsets obviously can be used in very harsh environments, and they should, these headsets are not ATEX certified. Yes, so that's a very important thing. If you are required to be fully ATEX certified, then this is not a headset. I mean, there is an option obviously to get it ATEX certified, but that's a long and very costly process. So there would have to be a business justification for it.
Yeah.
Okay. We do have some more questions, but I'm just cautious of time and wrapping up. So all of the unanswered questions we will answer after the webinar, and we will make them available. As you can see on the screen, there's a URL to our tactical headsets page, so please go on there in a couple of days and you'll see all the answers. So thank you very much. So just a quick reminder that we will be sending out the recording of the webinar, and we'll make available any additional materials, including marketing. Thank you everybody for joining us today. We hope you found the session valuable. We look forward to seeing you in future webinars and using this wonderful headset. So thank you everybody for presenting, and thank you for our attendees for attending.
Thank you
Thank
so
you
much.
Very
all.
much.
Goodbye everybody. Thank you.